Welcome back to Offsides, BUTV's only professional sports talk show. I'm Maddie Baglio.
And I'm Kaylin Smith. To kick off our episode, Jack Hughes and Jose Rodriguez will recap the 2025 NBA trade deadline.
Then, Pott and Ryan Owens will join Sophia Azzano to discuss the MLB offseason and preseason and make their way too early season predictions in a shot clock.
And finally, Courtney Knight will talk all things Philadelphia Eagles and their big win at Super Bowl 59.
All this and more, Offsides starts right now.
There's the snap, it's built high. Quick throw, it's intercepted at the goal line. It's intercepted.
Thanks, Kaylin and Maddie. This past NBA trade deadline will likely end up being the most impactful in recent memory. I'm Jack Hughes here alongside Jose Rodriguez to break it all down. There were many blockbuster moves, but one that may go under the radar is the East top seed Cleveland Cavaliers getting DeAndre Hunter.
Hunter boosted a remarkable 39.4 percentage from threes. He ranked second in the league with an average of 2.6 three-pointer made per game. In addition to his three-point shooting ability, Hunter brings a versatility defensive skills set to the Cavaliers. He averaged about 1 steal per game, underscoring his effectiveness on that end of the court. With Hunter's contribution, the Cavaliers have positioned themselves to be even more competitive.
Absolutely, Jose. His presence is huge for a team that needed a two-way wing. However, this move is confusing for Atlanta, as they gave up a piece that fit perfectly with star guard Trae Young for not all that much in return. They seem stuck in no man's land alongside teams like the Miami Heat, who are in a difficult spot, as were the Golden State Warriors. From a basketball sense, it's probably best for the Warriors to reset, but that would mean moving a still productive Steph Curry. And taking a wild guess here, I'm going to guess ownership would prefer not to incite riots in the Bay Area, so that option is not viable. Once Kevin Durant rejected an offer to return to the team, opportunities were limited. To the disappointment of the Phoenix Suns, the Warriors moved Andrew Wiggins plus other pieces, including prolific journeyman Dennis Schroeder, in a 5-team deal that got them a disgruntled Jimmy Butler.
At the age of 35, Butler will become a pivotal member of the Warriors, making a significant shift in his career. It was clear that the Miami Heat need to part ways with him when Butler openly expressed his desire to no longer play for the team. As a 6-time All-Star, Butler's talent is undeniable, but his tenure in Miami was marred by controversy. He faced suspension because of behavior that was bad. Look for the team, which led to mounting tension throughout the season.
Ultimately, Butler's departure hinged on whether a team would extend his contract, right? And fortunately for the Warriors, they took the opportunity to sign him to a 2-year deal worth $121 million, which means Butler can put all his focus on contributing to success on the court.
In other news, in a stunning move for the Sacramento Kings, De'Aaron Fox was traded to the Spurs after 7.5 seasons. Fox is one of their key players and arguably the face of the franchise. The Kings lose out on an all-star talent, with San Antonio benefiting.
And Jose, this move shows why the Spurs organization is great. They get De'Aaron Fox, who's an electric point guard and will be a great help once the young core is ready to start competing, while keeping all those young pieces, which is a rare sight in a trade like this. And the other sides are also happy. The Bulls are more flexible without Zach LaVine, and the Kings get solid draft capital, while lighting the beam was fun. With the current West, Sacramento was just not competing. Not when you look at the Thunder, the Nuggets, and a certain team out in LA. Jose, I don't think we can ignore it any longer. Luka Doncic is a Los Angeles Laker. Huh?
Absolutely, Jack. The basketball community was left in utter disbelief when news broke overnight that Luka Doncic had been traded to the Los Angeles Lakers. The Dallas Mavericks undeniably suffered a significant loss in this trade.
100%. It's baffling for them to part ways with his phenomenal talent, especially when he's in his prime at 25 years old. On the other hand, Anthony Davis is Dallas's key acquisition. He's a 31 and dealing with a left adductor strain, which means the Mavericks won't be able to rely on him for a while.
Mavericks fans were outraged upon learning about this trade. I'm sure we're all familiar that when a player is on the trading block, whispers circulate among fans and analysts alike. In Luka's case, there was absolutely silence. This trade was kept under wraps until it was finalized, which made it all the more surprising for everyone involved.
And I think the reaction to this speaks to how unprecedented it is. It wasn't the usual, wow, Nico Harrison is an idiot. No, it's Shams Charania was hacked, or conspiracies about ownership moving the team. The reasoning for the trade has only exacerbated this confusion. Luka was apparently out of shape and didn't play enough defense to help a winning culture. This is valid enough reasoning, except that he just led your team to the finals. I don't care how bad his conditioning is. I don't care if he's inhaling glizzies on the sideline like Joey Chestnut. You don't trade that. Nico Harrison thought differently though. And with that, we ended up with one of the biggest trades in league history.
Say what you want about these trades, but the NBA landscape has become a lot more interesting now. We'll see how this new look teams continue to gel as the season progresses. That's all we have on the NBA trade deadline. Let's throw it to Sophia, Ethan, and Ryan for the MLB preseason shot clock.
Welcome to the first shot clock of this semester on Offsides. I'm Sophia Azzano, here with our analysts Ethan Pott and Ryan Owens. They'll each get 25 seconds per round to give their thoughts on the Major League Baseball offseason and their way too early takes on the upcoming season. At the end of each round, I'll decide whose take won, and at the end of 5 rounds, we'll declare whoever earns the most points as the winner. Ethan, we'll start with you. Which team do you think made the best moves this offseason?
One team that not enough people are talking about is the Boston Red Sox. They brought in Garrett Crochet, who put up over 4 wins above replacement with a 3.58 ERA, an even lower FIP at 2.69, and 209 strikeouts in 146 innings. That's huge for a team that's been starved for pitching. The Sox also recently signed Alex Bregman, whose righty power swing balances out the Sox lefty-heavy lineup. Bringing in a Gold Glove defender like Bregman is going to help this infield out a ton.
My pick has to be the New York Mets. Let's start with the obvious. They signed Juan Soto, who's already one of the best players in baseball at age 26 and just had one of the best seasons of his career. The team also revitalized its pitching staff, adding Clay Holmes, Frankie Montas, and Griffin Canning. The fact that re-signing Pete Alonso is an afterthought should speak to just how much better this team has become.
Both of you make great points, but I'm going to have to give this one to Ryan. Although our friendly neighborhood Red Sox made some great pitching moves this offseason, Juan Soto is Juan Soto. The combination of Soto, Alonso, and a refreshed pitching staff could very well be the key to the Mets taking home an NLCS title this season. Moving on, Ryan, who do you think will be the biggest dark horse of this upcoming season?
I'll use this opportunity to shout out the Chicago Cubs. The team had a red-hot start to last season before cooling down, but the roster there certainly has the capability to have a surprisingly good record. Dansby Swanson and company will be joined this year by Kyle Tucker and Ryan Presley, both of whom should provide a boost to this team. Assuming they continue to see improvement from Shota Imanaga, the Cubs might just be able to sneak away with an NL Central title.
I'm taking the Athletics, who are playing in Sacramento this year. To add insult to injury, owner John Fisher started spending for a change this year, signing players like starter Luis Severino and reliever Jose Leclerc. Plus, they've got some legit guys in rookie sensations outfielder Lawrence Butler and flame-throwing closer Mason Miller, slugging DH Brent Rooker, and second baseman Zach Geloff, who has potential for a bounce-back season. Is it too much of a hot take to say I can see them flirting with 500?
Ethan, the Athletics might be able to pull off a 500 season, but I'm still going to have to give this one to Ryan. Yes, the formerly Oakland A's now have money to spend, but is it too late? The clubs have been building up their squad and have had an above-average season last year, despite missing out on a wildcard spot. Like you said, Ryan, with a 2-time Golden Glove winner and 2024 runner-up in Dansby Swanson, alongside some new firepower, the Cubs could very well be the underdogs of this season. Now, for the league's most coveted award, Ethan, who do you think will take home the title of MVP?
In the National League, we all know it's Shohei Ohtani who returns to the mound this year. But in the American League, I'm going to go with Royals shortstop Bobby Witt Jr. In 2024, Witt put up a 9.4 BWAR, hit 32 home runs, and led all of Major League Baseball in hits. Witt's a 5-tool player and is the most complete player in baseball. He's phenomenal offensively, defensively, and on the base paths. And get this, he's only 24. Kansas City has so much to be excited about with this guy.
Ohtani is a difficult case to argue against, but I think Ronald Acuna Jr. could be the one to steal that title from him. Each season that he's stayed healthy has resulted in him getting MVP votes, and he even won the award in 2023. In the American League, I have to stick with reigning MVP Aaron Judge. He led baseball in most major stats among position players, and there's no reason he won't do that again. I suspect we'll see one of Judge's best campaigns thus far this year.
Both of you have very solid picks. It's hard to believe anything or anyone will stop Aaron Judge, well, except maybe Ohtani and friends. So Ethan takes this point. It's showtime 24/7, and Bobby Witt Jr. helped lead the Royals to their best season since their World Series win back in 2015. Next up, this player may not necessarily be the MVP, but Ryan, who do you think is going to have a breakout season?
The obvious choice feels like it has to be Jackson Holliday. The number one pick in the 2022 draft struggled in the 60 games he played last year, batting below 200 and only hitting 5 home runs. But we can see that the talent is there. He was the number one prospect in MLB's rankings last season, he played well in AAA, and everything across the board leads me to expect that his numbers will improve in 2025.
I'm so excited to see what new Houston Astros third baseman Isaac Paredes can do in Daikin Park. It'll be so good for him and his pull-happy righty swing to play in Houston. His offensive profile was made for the Astros' short left field with the Crawford boxes. If you overlay his spray chart on Daikin Park's dimensions, it's scary to see what he might be able to accomplish there. And he's already averaged a .452 slugging percentage in his last 3 years with Tampa. I think we could see Paredes put up career numbers this year.
Ryan, you make a great case, but Ethan will be taking this point. Yes, Holliday went number one in the draft a few seasons ago, but he really did struggle. I'm truly looking forward to him proving me wrong this season. Paredes has a huge opportunity to step up for the Astros and fill the gap left behind by Kyle Tucker, who was shipped off to the Cubs just like Ryan mentioned earlier. With the score tied at 2 apiece, this final question is for all the marbles. Who, in your way too early opinion, will be crowned the World Series champs? Ethan, you have the floor.
I gotta go with the Los Angeles Dodgers to repeat. This juggernaut of a team is built for the playoffs, after somehow getting even better this offseason. Starting pitching is the most important factor in the postseason, and they added 2 ace-caliber pitchers in Blake Snell and Roki Sasaki. And Ohtani's returning to the mound. Teoscar Hernandez and postseason legend Kike Hernandez are sticking around too. So anyone going up against LA in the playoffs is a heavy, heavy underdog.
Maybe I'm taking this opportunity to pump my own team's tires, but I think the Philadelphia Phillies have a real shot to finally get over the hump this season. The roster has consistently gotten better in the regular season each year, with the young guns improving while the leaders like Bryce Harper and Trey Turner continue to maintain their high levels of play. After their humiliation last postseason against the Mets, I think this team will be hungry for a title and will ultimately find it in 2025.
Now this is a tough choice. Although your Phillies may have the revenge factor involved, Ryan, it's difficult for me to see a powerhouse team like the Dodgers, who only continue to stack the roster up further, not go back-to-back. With a come-from-behind win, congratulations, Ethan, on the first offsides shot clock win of the semester, with the final score of 3-2. I'm looking forward to seeing these teams hash it out at their respective ballparks this upcoming season. Now, let's throw it over to Courtney with a recap of Super Bowl 59.
Thanks, Sophia. Just over a week ago, Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles avenged Jason Kelce, the city of Philadelphia, and the entire United States of America in their 40-22 win over Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. The Chiefs were never going to three-peat this year, and the Eagles showed us exactly why they're the team to beat in the NFL right now. I'm Courtney Knight, here to tell you all about it. The sun has finally set on the Chiefs' seemingly never-ending lucky streak. Was it because the Eagles' top-rated defense was able to sack Mahomes 6 times? Or because Jalen Hurts was able to show the world that you can have success with a running offense? The answer to both of these questions is yes. However, the much simpler answer is that the Chiefs weren't all that good this season. Anyone paying attention could have seen the writing on the walls. The Eagles were just the better all-around team. Sure, the Kansas City Chiefs went 9-0 to start the season, but we can safely say that at least 7 of those wins were pure luck. They beat the Ravens in Week 1 by a toe, literally a toe out of bounds. If you manage to win 7 games by only a 1-possession margin, that isn't what everyone likes to call knowing how to win close games. That's called luck. I do have to give Kansas City their props for one thing. They managed to stifle Philadelphia's crown jewel and the league's Offensive Player of the Year, Saquon Barkley. Still, they only get partial credit for that. They were so focused on stopping Barkley that they forgot that the Eagles run deep offensively. There's been a lot of attention on the A.J. Brown touchdown and the interception by Cooper, not a safety, DeJean, But the unsung play of the game has to be Devontae Smith's touchdown. Not only did Hurts show that he knows how to do more than just run the ball, but Smith was also able to bring back some of his shine that got swept away by the Barkley craze. Now, some might credit the mediocre job defending the Eagles' offense to the Chiefs' single-minded focus on Barkley, but there's no way to excuse them getting shut out for the entire first half. Even if we consider the fact for the last 5 years, Patrick Mahomes has somehow always found a way, there's only so much the quarterback alone can do to win you the game, and the Eagles' defense proved that. Many of the Eagles' defensive players had their time in the spotlight, but if I had any voting power, Josh Sweat would have been the one to hoist that MVP trophy. With his play, the Chiefs' offense might as well have been invisible. And though Jalen Hurts isn't my personal pick for Super Bowl MVP, it's clear the game wouldn't have been the same without him. Some may say it was because he wanted revenge. I say it's because he simply is that good. In the past, Hurts has been criticized for his passing game, for falling under defensive pressure, and not having some amorphous quality that talking heads like to say he needs to get over the line. Right now, everyone owes Jalen Hurts a formal apology. Hurts has been leading the team in being level-headed since that devastating loss to Kansas City 2 years ago, a game and season that until the very end had Jalen Hurts slated as the best quarterback that year. After taking the loss in stride and putting in the work, he's shown everyone that not just him, but also the Eagles know how to win when it counts. With the roster they've got, or if nothing else, the culture they've built, Philadelphia seems poised to collect another Lombardi trophy next season. Or, as Hurts would put it, rain, sleet, or snow, the Eagles are trained to go.
Thanks, Courtney. That's all we have for this episode of Offsides. If you are interested in joining our team, please email us at offsides@butv10.com.
Also, be sure to follow us on Instagram and X at Offsides10.
On behalf of our entire casting crew, thanks for watching and have a great night.
Launches a three. In the shotgun, there's the snap. It's Bell high. Quick throw. It's intercepted at the goal line. It's intercepted by Marcus.